All right, good morning and welcome to the Nevada State Board of Pharmacy January 2026 meeting. Today is Thursday, January 15, and our meeting will now come to order. My name is Helen Clark and I'll be the presiding officer. We'll start with the Board of Pharmacy mission statement. In regulating the practice of pharmacy, the Nevada State Board of Pharmacy has a duty to carry out and enforce the provisions of Nevada law to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public. Next, we'll do our roll call. Mr. Adam Porath.
Here.
Ms. Crystal Freitas.
Here.
Ms. Shanice Taylor.
Here.
Ms. Jay Jacobo. Ms. Anna Carr.
Present.
Mr. Richard Tomaso.
Here.
Okay, great. All members are present. Mr. Weiss, any announcements?
Good morning, Madam President. Just the normal announcement. This meeting will be held in compliance with Nevada open meeting law. And if the public wants to see somebody that's on Zoom, they'll be on the TV screen to their left. And have a good meeting.
Okay, great, thank you so much. As our next order of business, the board will open up the floor for any public comment. So if we have anyone in the room or online or on Zoom who wishes to make a public comment, please feel free to come forward now or raise your hand in Zoom or press *9 or *6 to have your line unmuted.
Not seeing anyone, Madam President, on Zoom.
And I don't see anyone coming forward in the room, so we'll close the period for public comment for now. And there will be an opportunity at the end of our day today. All right, so with that, we'll move to our regular agenda. And we'll start with our workshop item.
Hi, Madam President. Good morning again. It's item number 16 on the agenda. The board members, I sent a version out in your board book and posted it to the public that was missing one component. It'll be very easy for you to see why I did it. So there's paper copies in front of you. That's what I'm going to ask you to, if you're going to act, you act on that today. And for the public, there's some sitting over at the counter there. We had multiple requests with trying to get technicians maybe more involved in pharmacy technician work and pharmacy earlier in their life. So the request has been made to modify the current regulation, which is 639-242, related to technicians in training. These are not techs, it's just technicians in training. And the age requirement was that they had to be 18 years of age or older. And they also had to be a high school graduate or equivalent GED to qualify to be a tech in training. The change that you have in front of you lowers the age to 16 years old. And as you can see in section 1, subsection B, be a high school graduate or equivalent. So high school graduates or somebody with a GED could still do it. But we've added the language or be enrolled in high school or equivalent, meaning that they have to be in a program on their way to get a high school diploma of some sort. And that's a very simple change, and I'll answer any questions I might have to answer about that, but I'll turn it back over to you. And I'm sure you'll take some public comment if there is some.
Before I turn it to the board, I will open up the floor for public comment on this workshop item. Do we have anyone online or in the room who wishes to make a public comment?
You want to make a public comment, please raise your hand or hit *9 on your phone and we'll pull you up into the queue to make public comment. Not seeing anyone in public comment, Madam President.
I don't see anyone in the room who wishes to make a public comment on this workshop item, so I'll turn it over to the board for board discussion. I think I know the answer to it, but just wanted to review the reason for reducing this age to 16. If board staff or board members want to comment on that.
It's something that the industry's asked for, and I talked to Adam about it. So I think Adam, I'll leave it to you with Adam, but I think that it's done in other states. So I just so that you know.
Yeah, for the record. There's a program that was started in North Dakota probably 5-7 years ago that involved a partnership between North Dakota State University and a local high school that's been very successful. I contemplated with the opening of a new technical school in Reno if it would be possible to do something similar. And obviously we would have to change the regulation to make that happen. So,
So the way I see this is that it would essentially open up the opportunity at maybe some vocational high schools where if they started their own pharmacy program or pharmacy tech program while in high school, they can start that or have that as part of their high school curriculum. Would that be correct?
Yeah, or just somebody that's looking for a job when they're 16 and they're interested in that could also gain access. So you have to be in a program of sorts, but the pharmacy itself can be the program. So you could I get that question a fair amount. Can you still do the on-the-job training? And the answer is yes to that. I think for Adam too, because we've had some discussions about it, and I think that this will help the board a little bit. I mean, you've talked to certain, we don't have to say what the schools, you've talked to some people and they are actually interested in doing this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay, and then just with the requirement that they're enrolled in high.
again, I leave that to your discretion. I just thought when I was writing the reg, if we don't get them enrolled, then we set them up for being techs forever, which is not and we have that happen already. And some people become a tech in training and then there's no intent to ever progress. And that's, within the law, but I don't think it's what the law wasn't to
Yeah.
be able that you get to work in a pharmacy, it's that you're learning to become a pharmacy technician. So I thought that when I wrote it, I had that they had to still be working on that. Managing that will be very difficult for us. So if somebody drops out or whatever, we'll find out it probably after the fact or however. But I just personally thought that was a good thing to have in there, but there's no requirement of
I
it.
agree. I like that component. So I just wanted to get some context. So appreciate the background on that.
Are we still living it so that they wouldn't be a tech until 18?
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. We did not check. So to be a tech, you have to be a high school, you have to be 18. You have to be equivalent to a high school diploma or have a high school or graduated. So that's not being changed, just the tech and training.
No, I think this is great. I have no questions or issues with it. I think it segues nicely and opens up an additional career path at an earlier stage.
I move that we adopt the proposed regulation.
May I ask one question? Sorry, just for technicality. Would they be required to be enrolled in the vocational program, or could any 16-year-old in high school become a technician in training? This is just for my own curiosity.
Good morning, Anna Carl.
Oh, yes,
For
good
the
morning. Sorry,
record.
Anna Carr for the record.
Board member Anna Card for the record. Yeah, Anna, they could just be in high school and want to do this and that would qualify them for it. Or they could be working on their GED and be 16 or 17 and go work in a pharmacy.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Ms. Jacobo, did you want to continue with your motion?
Yes, I move that we adopt the proposed amendment to the regulation to LCE.
She can have it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right, so motion by Jay Jacobo, second by Shanice Taylor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. All right. With that, we'll move on to our next agenda item. And then for these next agenda items, Mr. Weiss, are we taking them all together the next?
If you're talking about 9C, I have them scheduled because of the people that they're bringing at 10. So if you can go to something else and
Okay,
then come back around as close as you can to 10 a.m., then we'll do those and to answer your question, yeah, we'll take those all together.
what about, there's a premise health wellness center in there?
We'll take them all together.
All right, okay, so I'll call for Walgreens Pharmacy, 9I to 9F.
Oh, no, at 10.
At 10, we're gonna do.
Yes, so if you can go maybe to 8A.
We'll go to 8A for Proficient Medical LLC, since we have representatives here for Proficient Medical LLC. Good morning.
Good morning.
I could have you state your full name for the record.
Tafi Lele P. Mauna Jr.
Great. And then will there be anyone else joining you today?
I had a couple of my partners that are on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
If I can have them, can I text them to come on? Because we thought it was gonna be a little later.
So they're not here yet?
No, they're waiting to go on Zoom.
Oh, they can go on Zoom, yes.
Okay. Is it okay to text them to let them know to come on?
Sure. They could join anytime. Yeah. Sorry, I totally misunderstood.
Yeah, I'm not speaking.
Okay. I have blank one. I don't have anything yesterday. Yeah. No, I might not. You know if they're joining now?
Yes, one of them is joining now. The other one's gonna come on right here shortly.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, no problem.
So do we have one?
We have one on right now.
I'm talking to the person.
I'm sorry.
Name?
What's the name of the person?
Angie,
What's the name of the other person?
Tom.
And you want them to be with you? I mean, they're allowed to be with you when you proceed. You want that?
We can start. I'll be the one running the operation, so.
Let's go ahead then and get going. Just for the record, if you could once again state your full name and title for the record, and then I'll move it to Ms. Hernandez. And then Ms. Hernandez, it looks like we'll need her line unmuted. Or you'll have to unmute your line.
Tafi Lele P. Mauna Jr., CEO.
Thank you. Ms. Hernandez?
We've asked her to unmute. She needs to do it on her side. Ms. Hernandez, you need to unmute your device. We can't hear you. You need to unmute your device. If you're on your Zoom, then in the lower left, hit on the microphone. Or if you're on a phone, then you can hit *6.
Or you could call the phone number if you want. And then maybe what we can do, Mr. Castileles, is, I could swear you in, and then, as we get through the questions, if we need Ms. Hernandez, we can have her call in.
Sure.
Alternatively, we can give you a minute, go to the next item and bring you up second, and then you can kind of gather the troops and get it all dialed in. It's your choice.
Okay, yeah, I know Tom is on now, so if, I don't want to waste time, so if you guys want to.
Tom is on now.
Yes,
Okay.
Spencer?
yes.
We've asked you to be unmuted. Can you unmute yourself and speak?
Yes, I'm unmuted. How are you?
Okay, and Mr. Hernandez, you still need to unmute your device. We've unmuted you on our side, but we can't unmute your side. Okay, you have Tom?
Yep,
Tom's
I'm
with you.
Yes, okay.
I have to apologize. I gave my agenda to Dick. So if somebody can read the phone number onto the record, then we can just have her dial in under the phone and then that'll.
So, Ms. Hernandez, if you can write this phone number down. The phone number to call in is 1-669-900-6833. Were you able to get that? Okay, and then the meeting ID number is 588-625-6671. Okay.
Ms. Hernandez, when you get on the phone, you'll still have to hit *6 to unmute yourself. We've omitted her. We've unmuted her. Are you there, Ms. Hernandez?
Yes, I'm here now.
Okay, great. All right, so with Mr. Fender and Ms. Hernandez, if you could state your full name and titles for the record, and then I'll swear all three of you in together.
My full name is Thomas Wilson Fender III, and I'm the CFO.
Great, thank you. Ms. Hernandez?
Maria de Los Angeles Maunga, formerly Hernandez.
Okay, and your
And
position with company?
I'm co-owner.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, I'm gonna swear you all in. I just need a verbal affirmation from each of you. If you could join me in raising your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
Yes.
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 Great, thank you so much. All right, I will turn it over to Ms. Young.
Thank you, Madam President. This is Skylar Young for the board. Agenda item 8A starts on page 2392 of the board book. This is an application for medical products provider. It'll be a Nevada facility located in North Las Vegas and will serve patients by prescriptions. Mr. Naga Jr., you also go by Junior, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is going to be the MDEC administrator. So I'm just going to ask questions of you guys about the application. What types of products will you be providing?
We'll be providing oxygen, wheelchairs, hospital beds, commodes.
Have you worked with these products before?
Yes, ma'am.
You worked at Montgomery DME from 2022 to 2025. Can you explain some of your duties in that position and how they relate to being an administrator?
Correct. I was the director of operations. I handled employees, hiring, termination, training. We provided the same products that we'll be providing here at Proficient Medical. And I was the compliance officer as well as the administrator with Montgomery and Advantage for the last 13 years.
Did you work with actual patients?
Actual patients, yes, if we had to deliver. The drivers did it mostly, but yes, we would work with actual patients.
You got your associate in science. Can you explain your degree and some of the courses that you had?
Yeah, I was a respiratory therapist in the state of California for 4 years. Worked in ICU, NICU, and sleep medicine as well. So we provided CPAPs and BiPAPs for patients.
And you got your degree in respiratory therapy, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you worked, so you did, just confirming that you have worked with all the products that you would like to be providing?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plan on getting business here in Las Vegas?
Well, I've been here in Vegas for the last 13 years. So we built a pretty good reputation or rapport with a lot of the clients that we have out here. So we can probably get a pretty good percentage of the hospices out here.
How are the three of you related or know each other?
Maria's my wife, and Tom Fender is an associate that I've dealt with for about 13 years in the hospice field.
Will Maria have other duties outside of being co-owner?
If needed, she currently works at a different employer. So if needed, we would bring her on as customer service and billing.
Maria, can you talk a little bit about your qualifications?
I also worked, well, learned mostly from Junior, but I also was employed with medical equipment since about 2010. I worked for a medical equipment company, and then I moved as well to Montgomery, and I was there from, I believe, 2000. I'm trying to get the dates right, sorry. I was there until Junior was there. So I was there for about 3 years with Advantage / Montgomery. Also dealt with all the medical equipment, did customer service. I was the one that actually kept in contact with the hospices and the representatives, and also did the order intake and billing.
Thank you. Thomas, same question. Can you talk a little bit about your qualifications?
Yeah, I have been in the healthcare space for almost 17 years now, primarily in hospice. And that's where I met Junior originally. The company I was working for at the time was using Advantage Home Medical, which he was operating. I have worked in hospice all the way from sales and marketing to administrator to most recently I was the regional vice president for advanced healthcare for Southern Utah and Nevada for as overall the administrators and operations for home health and hospice. And then 3 years ago I opened AMG Hospice of Las Vegas, and we've now got 6 locations spanning from Dallas, Texas to Lewiston, Idaho, Arizona, Denver, and here. So I love the healthcare world, and I've found my home and stuck with it. And Junior's been a big part of what we've done in Las Vegas for a long time with all the agencies I've been with. So that's the relationship, and I've worked with these products directly and indirectly as well for that entirety of my healthcare career.
Are you based in Las Vegas, Thomas?
Yeah, Vegas is home for me.
Junior, why do you want to be an MDEC administrator?
Well, I've been an administrator for the last 13 years for the 2 companies I previously worked for. But I think it gives us the opportunity to make sure things are done right here. We've done the last 30 years. It started out where, it was about the patient. Seems like the last 5 or 10 years that's kind of fallen off. They become a number, so we're trying to bring that back.
Will this be the first business that you'll own?
Yes.
I don't have any further questions.
Just a couple if I can. Great. Thanks, Scott. Good job. Thomas, are you gonna leave the other position and just work full-time as the CFO here or?
The other positions don't require too much of my day-to-day time, so I'm going to be working quite a bit with Junior. That's where most of my time will be dedicated for the first few months at least, until we get up and running and maybe find someone eventually to fill that role, or it could be me indefinitely. But for now, I'll be spending most of my day-to-day with Junior, getting things going.
Is your plan that the 6 that you work at, you're gonna refer to your own company? Is that your plan?
Well, the ones that I own are in other states, so I
Okay.
only have one here in Las Vegas.
So the one here, are you gonna refer to your own company?
That was kind of the plan. Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Okay, and then Junior, are you a respiratory therapist licensed in Nevada?
No, sir.
And is your wife?
No, sir.
Okay, and do you have plans to have a respiratory therapist?
We have one on board already.
Okay, the law requires that. All right, I don't have any further questions.
So, Junior, are you working, your plan is to work at this location full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then in terms of staffing, you mentioned you already have a respiratory therapist. Is there anyone else that you have on your staff or staffing plan?
Yes, we have a delivery technician and a warehouse supervisor.
All right, I don't have any other questions, board members.
Adam Porth for the record, I don't have any concerns about this application. This team seems to be quite a bit more qualified than we typically see, so I would move that we approve the MW application for Proficient Medical LLC.
Crystal Freitas, a second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Porak, second by Ms. Freitas. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. All right, so wish you all the best.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Madam
much.
President, would you mind calling 14A?
We will call for 14A, that's Delaney Tabor.
She got notice that she's supposed to be here today. She has an application. You may call her again.
Delaney, maybe Delaney Tabor. Delaney Tabor, if you are online, if you could let us know by raising your hand in Zoom or pressing *9 if you're on the phone.
Find her? Yeah, we got her, Madam President.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Who do we have on the phone?
Hi, sorry, this is Delaney Tabor. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, was having a trouble with my phone and the Zoom meeting wouldn't connect.
Oh, no worries. Glad you're able to make it. Ms. Tabor, I'm going to swear you in. If you could join me in raising your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'll turn it over to Mr. Wiest.
Good morning, Mrs. Tabor. This is Dave Wiest from the Board of Pharmacy, the executive. I'm going to ask you some questions. You have an app for board members. You can see the application on page 7472. It's an application for a technician. Ms. Tabor, are you a tech in training right now?
Sorry, excuse me. No, I am actually a certified technician. I was working out in Ohio. October has been 6 years in pharmacy for me.
Okay, so you're gonna go right to tech, which is allowed. That's fine if you meet the qualifications, which you do, because you're in the board book. You did have a disclosure, which was I'm sure probably not the best time of your life, but we need to talk about it today. So you had a felony disclosure related to a Schedule I controlled substance. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And were you convicted of that or plead to something?
No, No, everything was appealed and sealed.
Okay, so you never were found guilty of it.
No.
Okay, and so the substance, and that'll be weighed by the board, obviously. The substance was LSD. Did you have experience with LSD, or what happened?
So what happened was I had literally moved in for the very first time with somebody, and after 2 months, I had woken up trying to get ready for work, and he was digging in a work box and was selling some to a quote unquote friend, and I did not know until I woke up that morning. And then about another month later, so 3 months into working with him or living with him, we had officers come to the house and raid the house.
Okay, and you were an occupant of the house then, so they charged you?
Yes, exactly. Guilty by association.
Okay. And have you ever taken a controlled substance, whether prescription or non?
Prescription I got I've had surgeries in my mouth and wisdom teeth and stuff like that. But other than that, I haven't, I don't touch things like that. My parents were meth addicts, and it's just not been my cup of tea.
So you've never taken illicit drugs?
No, I mean, I smoked weed, in high school and stuff. But other than that, no.
You broke up a little bit. That was marijuana, you said?
Yes, marijuana. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. No further questions. I'll turn it. That was just a disclosure that had to be dealt with.
Absolutely.
I'll turn it over to the board, Ms.
Thank
DeBoer.
you. Board members, any additional questions for Ms. DeBoer?
What were the terms of your pretrial diversion program?
I'm so sorry. What was that?
What were the terms of your pretrial diversion program?
Like, what did I have to do to get it all sealed and everything? I'm so sorry.
In lieu of conviction. I'm sorry, they have different terminology. Intervention and lieu of conviction. So what did they have you do?
I'm so sorry. You sound so far away. I cannot hear you.
So I'll say it looks like in your documentation that they did some kind of pre-trial program for you in lieu of conviction, or maybe as part of not being convicted. Did the court have you do something to get it dismissed?
Yes, that is correct. So we did in lieu of conviction, and I went through 2.5 years of counseling for actual drug counseling, as well as I went for counseling for my anxiety, and just all the court costs and all of that good stuff, and just keeping in with my lawyer and stuff.
Was there any drug testing as part of that program?
I'm sorry.
Did they do drug testing? Did they do drug testing any part of that 2 years?
Oh yeah. The whole time I was in the court system, the whole time I was in counseling, every month after my counseling, I would have to go to the court and go get drug tested. I went every month.
Did you fail any of those tests?
Nope. I have all of my paper. I literally kept everything from that. I never failed, never had any issues. I showed up on time, if not early. I made sure that this was taken care of, because I worked very hard to not have to do this. And it sucks.
And you disclosed this to Ohio when you got your tech license there?
Yeah, everything was disclosed just like with you guys. Absolutely.
Good job. All right.
Any other questions, board members?
I guess my only other question is, why are you seeking licensure in Nevada, Ms. DeBoer? For Tabor?
So I moved out here. I just needed something different. I'm actually originally from Las Vegas, and I moved out to Ohio and was out there for a few years, and I worked in pharmacy. And like I said, I've been doing pharmacy for 6 years, and moving out here, this is I wanted to stick with pharmacy, and I had already done retail. I had did specialty for the last 3.5. And so, hospital was something completely brand new, and I needed something new for my brain because I had kind of capped at the specialty. And so there wasn't like anything new for my brain to learn. And so, just a new opportunity. My dad is out here in Reno. I miss the West Coast. Yeah.
I just have one more question. There's been no other incidents since this case, right, Ms. Tabor? Any
There was
other?
another incident?
Have-
Oh,
have
no,
there been?
absolutely not. Nothing. Oh, has there been? I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'm so sorry, the phone. No, there has not been any other incident, no issues, nothing.
Yeah, Dave Weiss for the record. It's a great question. Just the flip side to that is she would have been fingerprinted and that would have matched, or she wouldn't have been, that would have been disclosed to you. So, this is the only thing that came back on her fingerprint background check.
I'm like, I hope so. There shouldn't be anything else.
There's not.
Thank you.
Ms. Ford, thanks for answering all the board's questions. I would move that we approve the pharmacy technician application for Delaney tour.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Porat, a second by Ms. Jacobo. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Thank you and good luck.
Sorry, Madam President, just because we have Mr. Tomaso, if you want to do 15A, another disclosure.
Sure, we'll go ahead and go to 15A for Soren Pate or Dr. Pate.
Serendipity, correct? Serendipity?
No, Soren, it's a individual. Sorry.
PAAPE.
This is Soren Poppy.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, we're here. Okay, thank you. And then I'm gonna swear you in, Dr. Pape. You can join me in raising your right
Okay.
hand. Do you swear that
Yep.
the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
I do.
Great, thank you. Okay, Mr. Weist.
Good morning, Doctor. He's applying for a controlled substance license. His practice setting is dentistry. He also had a disclosure that we're going to talk about here. And thanks for your time and your disclosure today, Doctor. It's been a while. You were a much younger man, but in 2013, I think you had some interaction with law enforcement related to purchasing of narcotics over the web. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
And can you kind of tell the board the circumstances of that, please?
Yeah, I helped an individual or showed him essentially how to purchase narcotics online. He purchased them and then they were confiscated, and he, in his questioning, he brought up my involvement with helping him purchase it. I received some sort of felony charge. I can't remember what class it was exactly. It was later expunged from my record. And with that expungement, the judge informed me that I didn't have to disclose further, but I still do on any of these applications for controlled substances, just to make sure nothing ever comes up in the future. But it was expunged in, I believe, 2016, 2017. And then since then, I've received a pardon from the governor of Wisconsin as well.
Oh, yeah, good to disclose because it'll show up and then that becomes the issue, not what happened. So, and then
I
I think for
understand.
the board, I think that they also, like, you pleaded to a lesser charge of conspiracy, right? So you were never
Correct.
really convicted of that felony. But it sounds like you aren't really denying your role in the incident. And again, you were, I think, 20 or something at the time it happened.
I was 16. I was 16 years old.
You were a very smart or not so smart 16-year-old. If you knew how to do
Yeah,
that.
I was a very bored individual living in a very small town, and it was incredibly dumb.
Yeah, okay. You've made all the proper disclosures. It always sounds more intriguing when you're reading it, but when you meet the people, it might be different. So with that, I'll turn it over. And you've had a controlled substance in other states or a DEA in other states, it sounds
Yes,
like.
for 4 years, correct.
And I'll ask you, why Nevada? What's going on with Nevada that you want to be here?
I have an office in Nevada, Smile Now, Reno, and we have an associate there. However, I come and help with surgeries here or there. And if I ever have a patient that we strictly do large implant surgeries, and most of the time the patients require like 2 or 3 days of just basic painkillers. And I just would like to be able to prescribe those if we ever have an emergency with a patient having pain.
Okay. I'll disclose, I think I've seen your TV commercial. All right, I'll turn it
Oh,
over
great.
to the board.
All right, so you've been, Dr. Practicing
Poppy.
Poppy, you've been practicing in Reno for how long at Smile Now?
Reno's a fairly new office. I received my Reno license about 2 or 3 months ago. The office has been open about 6 months, but my main practice is in Denver, Colorado, and I've been practicing there for 3.5 years.
Okay, but your intent is to be in Reno full time?
No,
Or-
again, we have an associate there. So I come and help train for surgeries there, but we have an associate provider.
Okay, so this just enables you when you're here.
Correct.
Okay, all right, I don't have any further questions. Board members?
No further questions. Crystal Freitas, I'd move to approve controlled substance application for Soren Papi.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Freitas, a second by Mr. Kobo. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. All right, thank you. We wish you all the best, Dr. Papi.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Madam President, I don't know if you want to do one more, if you want to take a break and then.
Let's do one more and then take a break.
All right, sounds good.
We can go to 13. Oh, we'll go to Serendipity. Since Serendipity Medical Supplies. Great. Hi, good morning. If you could state your full name for the record, please.
Christian Robert Breer.
Okay, and then will there be anyone else joining you today?
No.
I'm gonna swear you in. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, and with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Long.
Hi, good morning, Madam President, members of the board. Yan Long for the record. I'm a board staff member. Mr. Briner, I'm going to ask you a few questions regarding your application that you submitted to the Board of Pharmacy. So we'll begin with, this is 8B, Serendipity Medical Supplies. It takes place on page 2430 of the board book. This is an ownership change and name change application for an existing medical devices, equipment, and gases company known as All Desert Respiratory. The new name of the company is Serendipity Medical Supply. They are appearing before you today as they are a new ownership in Nevada. So Mr. Briner is here today. He is listed as the MDIG administrator and sole owner of Serendipity Medical Supplies. It looks like, Mr. Briner, let me know if I'm incorrect, but you were the MDIG administrator for All Desert Respiratory as well. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what years were you the MDIG administrator for that particular MDIG?
Out here, I came out here about 4 years ago, and that's when I started out here. But I was in California. It's exempt license, so it's different, I guess, than out here. I'm not sure if it's close or similar, but out there I had exempt license for about 25 years. So
Okay,
I came
and
out
that
here,
was for
California.
All Desert Respiratory in Lancaster?
No, yeah, well, partially there, yes, and then also for other companies that I've worked for the years that I've been doing this.
Okay, yeah, it looks like you were also working for an AV respiratory care as well from 2004 to 2015. Okay, thank you. All right, some other questions in the application is stated that the business will be open 24/7. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Is it a walk-in business or how will patients present to you for their equipment? It looks like you will be providing medical gases. Is that correct?
Well, medical equipment, very like almost same as the guy that was here before, the hospital bed, oxygen, DME, all DME pretty much like bariatric equipment as well for bariatric patients.
Okay.
Pretty much on the same line. So.
Okay, it looks like it was just medical gases that you marked on your application. So thanks for clarifying that. So you'll be providing all DME types of equipment, including hospital beds, respiratory equipment, things like that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So you said you're open 24/7. And how will patients, I guess, what hours of operation will the patients be able to access your business?
Say 9 to 5:30, they can walk in, and after that, then it'll be after hours, it would contact the service after that.
And what hours will you be working physically in the business as the MDIG administrator?
7 days a week, at least 8 hours a day. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 18, and I've done it 7 days a week, sometimes 14-hour days, 12-hour days. It always varies. You never know the seasons. So.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. It was just written in your application that you weren't going to be physically present in the office at all times, which I don't expect since it's 24/7. So I wanted to know when you will be available in the office because by law you have to be at the place of business 40 hours a week, unless the business is open fewer hours than 40 hours a week. So thank you for clarifying. Will you be the new owner for the All Desert Respiratory in Lancaster, California, or just for this Nevada location?
He sold all the ones in California. There was 4 offices out there. Oh yeah, those are sold. There's only 3 left in Arizona. So those I'm not part of. So
okay, so you won't be owner of those locations.
Maybe eventually, but not right now.
Oh, okay, great, thank you. Will there be any changes in the business? Transitioning to you as the new owner, or will it be pretty much the same as All Desert Respiratory?
Pretty much the same. Of course, I'm from our team, which I already have on board, because the old owner was on our team. So
okay.
That's
so you'll be hiring a new respiratory therapist then?
That's correct.
And will they be on site?
Yes, they're gonna be on site, sometimes off site doing deliveries.
Okay, great, thank you. And it looks like you have ample experiences based on your personal history application with MDIG equipment. So I don't have any issues with that. And look, what kind of patients will you be servicing? It looks like All Desert Respiratory was servicing hospice patients. Will you be primarily servicing hospice patients?
Yes, we were doing hospice and Medicare. I mean, I've done Medicare for more than 25, 30 years, but I'm not starting with Medicare first. I'm just gonna start with hospice, work my way up, and then start getting Medicare eventually.
Okay, great. Thank you. And you will be supplying, it looks like, medical gases by prescription. Will you be supplying any of your equipment to doctor offices for use, like as in a wholesale business at all?
No.
Okay.
It's just gonna be going strictly to patients.
Okay. And my last question is, why did you want to purchase this MDIG, or why did you purchase this MDIG, and why are you interested in owning such a business?
I love what I do. I've done it since I was 18 years old. This is all I know. So my passion, basically. I love to help patients. So that's why I say I'm in the office, yes, but a lot of times I'm out doing the deliveries because that's my passion. This is and all I know. So.
Great. Thank you so much. I'll turn it over to the board for any additional questions.
Okay, board members, any additional questions?
None from me, Madam President. I feel fairly confident that he can handle this since he was the previous MDIG as well. So I would move that we approve ownership and name change for Serendipity Medical Supply.
Second. Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Jacobo, a second by Ms. Taylor. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and with that, we'll take a quick break. All right, so welcome back to the Nevada State Board of Pharmacy meeting. We're going to continue with agenda items 9C for Golden Health Pharmacy, 9I through 9FFF, which are all Walgreens pharmacies, 10C Premise Health Wellness Center, 10B through 10N Walgreens Pharmacy, and then 10O for Walgreens Hub Solutions. Do we have representatives from Walgreens? Hey, good morning, Mr. Silling.
Good morning. Oh, here we go.
Will there be others joining you today?
Yes.
Okay.
Bill Stilling for Walgreens, and on the line should be Rick Gates, and who's Chief Pharmacy Officer for Walgreens, and Mike Simcoe. I think they'll do all the talking because Mr. Gates is the person probably who knows the most about Walgreens pharmacy operations nationwide and the applications and the relationship with the new owners. So I'll leave it. I guess Mr. Simcoe, I think, is going to talk first.
Okay, that's a great setup. We'll just leave their lines unmuted.
He might have an 847 area code instead of his name. Can he unmute? Can he unmute himself?
Hi, this is Lori. They're listed in the Zoom as 67500-74CECOF2 if you want to unmute them.
Are they together, Lori, do you think?
Yeah, Mike and Rick are in the same room.
Okay, we have.
They are, yep.
Thank you.
Can you guys hear us okay?
Yes, we could hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that.
No worries. If I could have you both state your full name and titles for the record.
Sure. Michael Simcoe, Senior Counsel with Walgreens Pharmacy Law.
And Rick Gates, Chief Pharmacy Officer at Walgreens.
Okay, so Mr. Gates, I'll be swearing you in. You could join me in raising your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
I do.
Great, thank you so much. All right, Mr. Wiest.
Good morning, gentlemen. Mr. Simcoe, good morning. Are you, can you explain for the board your role with the organization?
Is that a question for Mr. Gates?
Or Mike, sorry, Mike. I
Oh,
wanted,
me, I'm
I
sorry.
wanted to explain that you were an attorney, so can you tell the
Yes.
board what? I know you and you know me.
I'm a pharmacist and I'm also a Senior Counsel Attorney for Walgreens and our Pharmacy Law.
And then Bill had already told Mr. Gates that your operation, but we appreciate your time here, Mr. Gates. Can you explain your role with the new company?
Yeah, certainly happy to. I'm Rick Gates, obviously Chief Pharmacy Officer at Walgreens. Just a real quick background, then I'll explain how that fits in with Sycamore. I am a pharmacist by training, still holding 2 active licenses in Arizona and Illinois. I've been working with Walgreens now for just over 30 years. I worked in our stores for 8 years, and helped fill leadership roles for about 4 years in the state of Arizona. And since I moved to our support center, I've worked in various roles based in Illinois since that point in time. I came into the change of ownership into Sycamore as a chief pharmacy officer, and I continue as the chief pharmacy officer today.
Okay. And so then you answered the other question, which is who purchased the Walgreens Corporation, and that was Sycamore, and it was a stock purchase, or how did they go about purchasing the company to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it was a buyout of all existing shares and taking private is the best that I can say as a pharmacist. I'm not an expert on how all of those necessarily go. Yeah.
My research agrees with that. And then I should have done this first, but I think that, we thought Walgreens was going to be at the last meeting, and I just wanted to make it for the record that I think that was just a miscommunication, and I think board staff played a role in that. So I don't think that we clearly defined what we were expecting, but I do know today that we have, and that we're ready to move forward with it. So I just run you guys through some questions. So Sycamore, I mean, they've purchased other companies that are known to the board members that aren't in the pharmacy mold. And I'm not going to ask you why they purchased it, because they probably thought it was a good financial deal for them to purchase it. So that you might not know every reason why they're here. And they're not with us today because they thought you were the best person to answer the operation questions. And so since the change in ownership, there's obviously some change in how the Walgreens operates. And so can you describe what changes you've seen through this transition?
Yeah, I would say largely there haven't been changes that have been impactful to Walgreens Co. I think I just remind you that Sycamore, in the purchase of WBA, which was Walgreens Boots Alliance, purchased all the assets that sat under that umbrella. And so I think what you see now is, and what's in front of you from a license perspective, is Walgreens Co. And I think the change is that the focus is solely on our stores, our team members, and obviously serving the communities that we're in.
And I think my experience, this is a big company that was changing. So my experience is they sometimes bring different resources, and then they have a different vision for how service is delivered. So you're probably working through that right now. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, what I would say is, although they do bring some different expertise and have brought in some different leaders over time, what they haven't had is necessarily retail healthcare expertise. And I think obviously with me staying here and by and large the team, I think they're showing that what they've always done is a long record of investing in these companies, but also maintaining key leadership so that they can continue to accelerate growth and ability to serve in all communities that they're in.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll know till it's all done, but these transactions sometimes are meant to restructure the company and do different things, but it's probably too early for us to tell what the long-term goals of that are. But in that sense, just because we're again, we appreciate what Walgreens does for for Nevada, and you do provide a lot of excellent care to Nevadans. But I think I lose track of the numbers. Do you have 6,000 chain stores or something, or how many stores did they purchase?
We're at about 8,200 stores nationwide.
Yeah, I knew. Okay, yeah. And so, and then all these are the ones here. So they're properly going through the channels of switching these over to Sycamore, who will be the owner if you approve them. So what about restructuring and layoffs? Have they done that since the change?
I would say that anything that they've done would be at the support center. So any restructuring has been done to support, I think, the turnaround that was in place to start at Walgreens, but obviously what they're trying to accelerate. There's been no impact from a field or a store-based perspective, any different than normal course of business that we had before.
Yeah, and I'll remind you, and we can't have like, I mean, I appreciate your time and I appreciate them sending somebody a high level to be able to answer our questions, but if you know, just following what the news is in the industry, we're already having pharmacies close and those kinds of things. And I think that Sycamore has made it clear that that's a possibility, at least in the news. But would you concur that we might see that moving forward, possibly?
Well, I would remind, I think the board members that, I think before Sycamore transaction, there was announcements that we would be closing stores. I think the goal is not to close stores, but at the same time, we have to obviously review and make sure that we're doing what's right by the company. I don't think there's any long-term plans of store closures. I think it's going to be normal course of business that we've always had before.
Okay, and I appreciate it. It wasn't like a guy, I'm trying to be sensitive to your position and, but I also, the board needs to know these things. I think there, I don't know if it was before or after, there was an announcement of maybe 1,200 stores being, that were underperforming. And then I think there was to your point, they kind of said there was going to be a reduction of that at maybe 500 stores. And again, that's just what I see being the executive, but we don't need to go into the details of it. But I think that we're experiencing that nationwide and all change. And I don't think that's enough to not provide the ownership change, but I just, the board's interested in these things, so I'm pointing them out to it. And then has there been any other things with the change that you think that you would need help from the Nevada board or anything on that related to how we could help them position it to follow the laws of Nevada, or they're good with that, or is there any assistance?
No, I appreciate the offer. I don't think there's anything incremental that would be needed. I think as an operating company and how we are operating our stores, it's consistent with where we've been before. I think what you'll see is continued focus and emphasis on both improving patient experience, but also how do we actually invest the right way in our stores so that we can service the consumers of Nevada, I'd say right now, appropriately, but that would be across all states, of course.
Okay. And then as far as supply chain, I don't want to make myself look silly, but I think you bought Amerisource, or you contracted with Amerisource. Something happened. Is that correct in the past?
In the past, we had ownership in Amerisource Bergen. That has unwound though through the years and through the process. So we still are contracted with them, but we don't have the ownership stake like we used to.
Okay. So, but you're still using them as your supplier. Okay. And then
That's correct.
You do some of your own too, or you just use them exclusively?
It is by and large 99% plus is all through Amerisource Bergen. We do some self logistics with vaccines and other stuff, but that's working with manufacturers.
Okay, yeah, drop shipment, that kind of stuff. Okay, so then that's gonna, so I think overall we can say anything's possible, but we're not looking at any major changes at this time as far as how the pharmacy operates.
I do not believe we'll see any major changes on how we're operating.
Okay, with that, I'll turn it over to the board.
Members, any additional questions? I have some general questions. This is Helen Park. So it sounds like there's not going to be any overall major changes to policies or procedures, but wondering if there's been any discussion that kind of enhancing any of the current technologies that you have at your stores or things along those lines. I think from pharmacists, I received feedback on the phone systems and some automated systems, and that they would love some opportunities to upgrade those to allow voicemails, things like that. So just curious from that level if there's the opportunity to enhance those moving forward.
Yeah, and I believe that was Helen that asked that question. I think it's a great question, and I'll simplify it this way. When we were WBA, we had lots of different operating functions underneath that. That would be, we had clinics, we had other things, we had Walgreens, and so investments would be spread across those. I think as you look at how we stand today under Sycamore, we're a Walgreens company, and I think all investments and what we're doing is really focused on our stores, on our supply chain and those types of things. So I do believe that what you'll see is we're going to continue to take feedback from our stores and our customers and then show that we will continue to invest in those. We've already done some of that. if I'm being honest. And so I'd hope that as you hear back from our pharmacists, you'll hear things about improvements with state registries, with our immunization system, as well as what we're doing, and what we consider assembly modernization to make it easier for them in the filling of prescriptions as well. So we are starting to, and I think you'll see us continue to accelerate in that space.
Great, thank you. And then in terms of quotas, metrics, measurement standards, vaccines, do you have any particular policies that require that of your pharmacists? Or any
No,
changes?
oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, from a quota perspective, and that's not going to be anything that we expect to change going forward.
So no particular goals for the vaccines?
Well, there will be goals, I think, that they said, just as not expectations, but standards that we're trying to have them understand what they achieved last year, what would be expected this year, but it's not like a goal where they're going to be hurt or harmed by anything if they don't hit that.
Okay, great. And then another area that I think about in terms of our community pharmacies, and this goes across not just Nevada, but across our nation, but just safety. We hear of like news reports of some safety incidences. And so I wonder if for the pharmacies that you have in Nevada, do they meet the safety barrier requirements? Have you considered other safety measures to make it to prevent pharmacists from, when they receive threats or inappropriate language, things like that, behavior? Have you considered any of those matters moving forward?
And just to make sure I'm clarifying, you're talking personal safety?
I am. I feel like more so sometimes patients can be inappropriate and mistreat our pharmacists. And so does Walgreens have a position on that and how they take care of their employees?
Yeah, I would say that the team member safety is obviously first and foremost for what we do, whether it's organized retail crime that happens in the front of our stores or for our pharmacists in the back of the store. I think there's two things. One is we have to figure out what are the best ways to deter patients from any bad behavior back in pharmacies. But I think we need to work across the industry and I think across legislative bodies to make sure that we're trying to do things to protect, I think, our employees that are obviously serving the patients in your state. So yes, I think that we want to continue to focus there, but we'd also say any advice or support would be helpful for us as well.
Great, thank you.
I have one more follow-up because I promised I would ask them because I gave them that ahead of time. There was this wasn't with the new owner, but you just haven't had one of your stores in front of us. So the $300 million settlement, can you just, the board is probably aware of it in the documents that we put out, but I just wanted you to kind of run them through that. We didn't have any concern. We weren't taking any action on it. We would have already taken an action if we were, but it didn't really, I think it was addressed, but if you can just go through what that was, I think it's a pretty big settlement. So they probably want to hear the details of that.
And just to make sure that it's the Department of Justice settlement that we just had back in April of 2025. Is that the one?
Yes, sir. It's the most recent one. We kind of keep a running log. And so new disclosures, we don't worry about the older disclosures, even through an ownership change, really. So it's just the newer one. And they haven't heard from it because I didn't bring it in front of them because this was coming up and I thought we could just deal with everything at one time. So.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And just as a reminder, Walgreens entered into a settlement agreement with the OIG and the DEA, and the settlement was reported to the Nevada board on April 21st of 2025. So if you want to go back and see when we reported it, and as I look at it, the resolution really allowed us to close all opioid related litigation with federal, state, and local governments so that we can actually look back at investing in our stores and our team members to serve the community. So that's just a quick snippet for what that was.
I think that's enough. The board may have questions about it, but I don't.
Okay. Board members, any additional questions for Walgreens?
No additional questions for me, Madam President. I would move that we approve the ownership change for, how would we like to list that?
You just list all the items and they're all, I can, if you want me to list them for you, I can do that, or it starts.
9C, 9I through 9FFF, 10C, 10B through 10 as in Nancy, and 10O.
Adam for a second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Kobo, a second by Mr. Porath. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Thank you so much for your time today and for answering our questions.
And
Thank you
thank
for
you
your time.
having us.
Thank you for setting aside a specific time, made it much easier.
Thanks for your help, Bill.
All right,
Madam President, I'll let you know that 9H Terra Pharmacy has asked to just table it. There's a little paperwork issue that we have to deal with, so.
okay, no problem. We'll note that, and then we'll move then to 9E, 10A, 10B. These are all for Kaba Fusion Nevada, Kaba in Henderson, Kaba Fusion LLC in Cerritos, and Kaba Fusion New Jersey. And we have represent, and here they are, just like that. Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Good morning, and then if I can have you, well, first of all, anyone else joining you today?
Yeah, there are team members on the Zoom call as well.
Okay, could you identify them for us?
I know that they're part of our licensing team and I don't know the total amount, but I think Sydney, Ellen, Alicia.
Yeah, we're only asking so because there's a lot of people on Zoom. We're trying to identify them to unmute them. It wasn't a test.
If you're out there, Kaba Fusion folks, if you could help us out by raising your hand. And then we'll have you unmuted. And then while we're waiting, I'll say that I am familiar with Corey Wages from Roseman University, but I feel that I can participate fairly and unbiased in this matter.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Corey.
Same here.
Mine's unmuted.
Everyone is unmuted. Okay, so we'll start in the room. If you could state your full name and titles.
Michael Lee, Associate Vice President for the West Region, Pharmacy Operations.
Corey Wages, Director of Operations and Pharmacist in Charge.
Great, and then who do we have online?
I'm listed as Felicia Vargo Johnson, but my last name is actually Ilmaz, Yilmaz. I'm the Regulatory Compliance Manager.
Great, thank you.
My name is Ellen Paris. I'm the licensing manager at Kaba.
Great.
And my name is Sydney McWork. I'm a licensing specialist for Kaba Fusion.
Okay, and then do you complete the team? Is there anyone else?
Yes.
Smita, but she's muted. Smita Injuro is our VP of Regulatory Compliance.
Working on unmuting her.
Thank you.
Thank you for unmuting me. Yes, Smita
Are you
Injuro,
okay?
VP of Regulatory Compliance.
Okay, great. So is that everybody?
I do see one more team member here, Zara is also joining.
Zara, okay.
She's on with that.
Hi, my name is Zara. I'm the Manager of Accreditation and Quality for Kaba Fusion. Thank you.
The total 7 individuals. Sounds right? Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swear you all in together, but I need a verbal affirmation from each. I think what will make it easier is if you could verbally affirm in the order that you introduced yourself, if you remember that. Okay, we'll try our best. All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Me too.
I do.
Okay, I think we did it. Great. Thank you so much. All right, with that, I will turn it over to Dr. Kuykendall.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a change in ownership application for Kava Fusion for 3 locations located in New Jersey, California, and 1 in Henderson, Nevada. This is agenda item 9E, which starts on page 2557 of the board book. The Kava Fusion located in Henderson, Nevada was last inspected on August 26, 2025, and there was no follow-up issues found. My first question is, would you be able to provide us a summary of the changes in ownership for us?
Yes, I have a statement for the board, if I could read that. Kava Fusion is a nationwide home infusion pharmacy providing home-based infusion therapy services to approximately 6,600 patients, with a focus on individuals with complex chronic conditions, as well as short-term intravenous antibiotic and nutrition needs. Founded in 2018 by CEO Dr. Sohail Masood, Kava Fusion has grown into a network of 33 pharmacies serving patients in 44 states, supported by experienced leadership, professional staff, and strategic capital investments. On July 22nd, 2025, Kava Fusion entered into a change of ownership agreement involving new indirect investment partners at the parent company level. This transaction triggered the need to submit change of ownership applications to applicable boards of pharmacy, including Kava Fusion's 3 Nevada pharmacy licenses. The change is strictly indirect with no impact on the licensed entities, including their names, FEINs, locations, personnel, governance, or services. Because Kava Fusion also operates a licensed pharmacy in California, a change of ownership notice was filed with the California Attorney General, whose review is expected to conclude around January 31st, 2026. The transaction will close shortly after. Accordingly, Kava Fusion requests approval of the North Carolina board's pending change of ownership applications, subject to submission on the final official closing date. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. You answered this in your statement, but I just want to confirm, will there be any staffing changes specifically based on this ownership change?
I don't believe so.
And then will there be any changes to policies and procedures based on this ownership change?
No, sir.
And then any services will be changed based on the ownership change?
No, sir.
And then will there be any sterile compounding performed at your facility with this ownership change?
No, sir.
All right, no further questions. I'll turn it over to the board.
Board members, questions for Kava Fusion's ownership change?
Madam Board for the record. So just to clarify the last question, so you do sterile, so my understanding was this is a home infusion business.
It is.
Okay, but you don't do sterile compounding?
Currently at our current location, we do not have active sterile compounding.
What sort of drug products do you provide then?
IVIG, sub-QIG, monoclonal antibodies.
Okay, got it.
So what I've heard from you is there'll be no changes. I feel like that's been made very clear. I was just curious, I just have to ask, as I was going through your board book or the materials that you provided to the board, you included minutes from different states and board meetings. What was the purpose of that?
I would have to defer to my partners on the call if they could assist me with that question.
This is Felicia Ilmaz. There was a question that asked if any facility that one of the officers has been affiliated with has ever appeared in front of the board. So we tend to be very transparent and over disclose if we've been on an agenda for another board of pharmacy or a similar board meeting.
I see. Okay. Okay, great. I don't have any further questions.
No further questions for me as well, Crystal Freitas. I'd move to approve pharmacy ownership change for Kava Fusion, items 9E, 10A, and 10B.
Denise Taylor for the record, I second. We have a motion by Dr. Freitas and a second by Dr. Taylor. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. All right, we thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam President, would it be possible to take another quick break?
Sure.
Possible.
Quick break.
Ready now.
Okay, great. Welcome back to our Board of Pharmacy meeting. Yes, we're gonna continue with our agenda item 9F for Lovelock Pharmacy. So we have representatives online for Lovelock Pharmacy. If you please raise your hand and your lines unmuted.
Yes, my name is Matthew Christensen. I'm the owner of the Lovelock Pharmacy.
Great. Will there be anyone else joining you today?
No, there will not.
I'm going to swear you in if you join me in raising your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
Yes.
Okay, great, thanks. I will turn it over to Ms. Long.
Thank you, Madam President. My name is Yan Long, Deputy of the Board of Pharmacy. I'm a board staff member. Going to ask you a few questions regarding your application, Mr. Christensen. So this is Lovelock Pharmacy 9F on page 3212 of the board book. This is a application for Bountiful Pharmacy LLC doing business as Lovelock Pharmacy. They currently hold a pharmacy license with the Board of Pharmacy. They have submitted an application to become a remote site pharmacy. We only have a couple of these sites in Nevada, and this is the reason why they're appearing before the board today. NRS 639.0151 states that a remote site pharmacy is defined as a pharmacy staffed with a pharmaceutical technician. There is no pharmacist physically on site, and is equipped to facilitate communicative access to a pharmacy or a telepharmacy and its registered pharmacist. Lovelock Pharmacy looks to meet the requirements of a remote site pharmacy, which must be located per NRS 639.23277 at least 50 miles or more from the nearest pharmacy, which we checked. There is no pharmacy within a 50-mile radius of Lovelock Pharmacy, and also in a service area with a total population of less than 2,000. Lovelock has a population size of 1,800. As Mr. Christensen indicated, he is the owner. And it is on his application too that he will be the managing pharmacist or the pick of the pharmacy. Dr. Christensen, did I state anything wrong so far?
No, that seems correct.
Okay, perfect. Dr. Christensen, do you currently work for or own any other pharmacies in Nevada?
So I own 3 pharmacies in total, the Rex Drug Co., and then 2 under the Bountiful Pharmacy LLC. There's the Silver Stage Pharmacy in Silver Springs and the Lovelock Pharmacy.
Okay, thank you. And as I mentioned, the definition of a remote site pharmacy, a pharmaceutical technician staffs the remote site pharmacy, and they must have access to a pharmacy and a pharmacist to fill prescriptions. Who will be the pharmacist that the pharmaceutical technician will contact from the remote site pharmacy?
That'll be myself.
Okay. And which pharmacy will act as the telepharmacy for the Lovelock remote site pharmacy?
The Rex Drug Co.
Okay, Rex Drug Co. Perfect. And Rex Drug Co. is in Yerington, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, perfect. And how many pharmaceutical technicians will be staffed at the Lovelock remote site pharmacy?
So currently we have 2 fully trained pharmaceutical technicians. We'd probably bump that down to 1 and have 2 at the Rex Drug site so that we'd maintain the correct ratio.
Okay, perfect. And how many years of experience does each of these pharmaceutical technicians have?
So one pharmacy technician, Brandy, has, I believe, 3 years in total. Then Candace, I want to say 5 or 6. She was a technician before many years ago, and currently she's had about 2 with us there at the pharmacy.
Okay, and I just want to remind you that in NAC 639.393, the pharmaceutical technician who will be working at the remote site dispensing controlled substances and dangerous drugs have to at least have 1 year of experience as a pharmaceutical technician. So I just want to remind you that.
Yes.
And, you know, this is an existing pharmacy. Why do you want to convert it to a remote site pharmacy?
So Lovelock is a small area and the script volume is just quite low. It's about 110 a day. So just for economic reasons, I've been thinking about this for about 5 years. We were about to do it about 3 years ago, and the DEA put a moratorium on allowing new remote sites. So we waited, and we've heard of others that have been approved. So that's why we're moving forward currently.
Okay, great. Thank you. And what hours of operation will you have at the remote site pharmacy?
So we'll keep the current hours of operation. They're currently open 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and they have an hour lunch from 12:30 to 1:30.
Okay. And you're aware the law requires that the telepharmacy and you providing your services to the remote site pharmacy, you have to be open at a minimum the same hours as the remote site pharmacy. So Rex Drug Co. will have to, at the minimum, be open the same time frame as the remote site pharmacy. Are you aware of that?
I was not aware of that. So we can change our hours if needed, but I would be there whenever they're open. But yes, I can address that and make that happen.
Yeah. Okay. It says, let me just make sure I'm correct.
You're correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't find the law off the top of my head, but yeah, it does say NAC 639.392, a pharmacist must be physically present in the telepharmacy and accessible at all times that the remote site is in operation. So at a minimum, Rex will have to be open the same time frame as the Lovelock location. Obviously, Rex Pharmacy can be open a longer time frame. It's just the same time frame as the Lovelock Pharmacy. Perfect. What types of drugs will you be dispensing from the remote site? I'm assuming the same drugs you're dispensing now, but do you have any limitations?
There are no limitations currently, and we don't expect on changing that.
Okay, great. Thank you. And what type of communication do you have between the remote site and to you at the telepharmacy, between you and the technician to process prescriptions?
So currently, I've got a dedicated fiber line that I put in at the Lovelock site because the internet there is fairly sketchy. So I invested in that. And we'd also have a VPN, so I can VPN into their pharmacy system and have direct connection into the system to make changes to see what they're seeing. I also have video surveillance that I'd be watching the entire time. And we'd also, for counseling, have either 2 cell phones or a cell phone and a tablet for voice and video counseling.
Okay. Thank you. That was my next question. If the communication, it happens to all of us, gets interrupted or unavailable, what are your directions to the pharmaceutical technician?
So according to what's in the law, they have to stop and not dispense anything and not sell anything at the register. They just go into a holding pattern, basically. They'd call me on a cell phone. If all the cell phones are down, they would probably have to lock the doors and just wait until connections came back for at least a cell phone.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That was a good answer. And can you describe the process in which a pharmaceutical technician will fill a prescription at the remote site pharmacy? If they receive a new prescription, what will the process be for the pharmaceutical technician? If you can walk us through from beginning to end.
So they would receive a prescription, usually by e-script, or it could be on the very rare occasion that you get handwritten prescriptions. They'd receive it there, review it. If it's for a controlled substance, they would notify me and scan it into the system and have me review it. And if it is a controlled substance, upon approval of that, they would bill it to the insurance, count the prescription. We have an icon counting machine there, and that will count the pill images, the stock bottle, and there's also options to take pictures of the completed label. And that all would be input into our pharmacy software system. So I'd review that upon checking. So they would check that off. It would go into a queue for myself. I'd look at the original prescription and those images. and see if I have any questions for the technician, and I would complete it from there. It would go into another queue and they would see that it was done and can be sold.
Okay. So specifically the law states, and most of it you have correct, in NAC 639.395, a pharmaceutical technician who operates a remote site shall transmit a copy of any new prescription which the pharmaceutical technician receives to the telepharmacy electronically, telephonically, or by fiber optics, and retain the original prescription the records maintained at the remote site. A pharmaceutical technician who operates a remote site must consult with a pharmacist at the telepharmacy to obtain approval before accessing any controlled substances or dangerous drugs at the remote site. So I think that step was missing, that they do need to obtain approval from you before accessing that dangerous drug and controlled substance. And then the pharmacist, your duty is to verify electronically, telephonically, or by fiber optic that the information entered by the pharmaceutical technician into the computerized system for record recording information concerning prescription is correct. So you have to make sure that the information is correct regarding what they transcribed. You have to make sure the label prepared by the technician is correct and the controlled substance and dangerous drug selected by the technician is correct. So I think you have all the steps there, except for they just need approval before accessing the controlled substance or dangerous drugs. In terms of counseling, you mentioned you have two cell phones and a tablet. When for new prescriptions, counseling is required. How is a technician, I guess, asking a patient whether or not, I guess, how does that work for you in your pharmacy? How will the pharmacy technician notify you that there's a new prescription that needs counseling? Do they simply ask the patient if they have questions, or do you offer counseling on all new prescriptions?
So my current habit, I review if the patient has been on this prescription before, even if it's newly sent by a provider. If they've been on it a significant amount of time, I won't counsel on that prescription. But if it's a change in dose, or if it's a brand new medication or medication class for them, I indicate to the technicians that I would like to counsel on that one. And I plan to have a communication with them pretty much constant, so that I can talk to them about all the prescriptions that are going through. So we should be able to communicate pretty much almost as if we're in the room via phone lines or that cell phone.
Great, thank you. And how often will you be visiting the remote site?
We'll go at least once a month. I hope to go maybe every 3 weeks, just to make sure I never miss that. More often if they need more vaccinations, because I'll probably go when they schedule vaccinations. And so during peak times, probably twice a month.
Okay. Yeah, and the law states that you do have to go at least once a month and personally inspect the remote site to make sure that it's operating within law. And so that's all the questions I have. I'll turn it over to the board for any additional questions that they may have.
Madam President, that was very thorough. Dr. Long, thank you. You missed one of the most important questions, which is, will there be any dinosaurs working at the telepharmacy?
No, unfortunately, there will not be any dinosaurs working there.
He has his technicians on his website dressed up as dinosaurs,
Okay.
T-Rex costumes. So,
Yeah.
must be that something to do with Rex, but I'm not sure. So
Yeah, those at our Silver Stage location, that was a Halloween costume. Had two in the blow up dinosaurs, and one is a Jurassic Park safari guide.
Okay, all right, well, that's fun. I have a question about how the controlled substances are stored. So, storage like, and how will that process be for the technicians?
So currently our schedules 3 through 5 are mixed in with the regular drugs. Our C2s are in a locked 600-pound narcotic cabinet. It's locked with a key. That's currently how they're stored.
And then is the inventory managed? Is it handwritten, or is it through your computer system, or how is that tracking going?
Yeah, it's currently and will continue to be through our pharmacy computer system. And only the pharmacist has permissions to change stock on hands manually in the computer system. So all those can't be changed except through receiving the order through the natural course of business. And that's done automatically with the computer system. The technicians don't have to touch that at all.
Okay, and then in terms of the working with the wholesalers or getting shipments of drugs, how will that process be different?
To my knowledge, I don't think it'll be any different. I have access currently to order controlled substances remotely. The 3 through 5s, I'll probably have the technicians review with me each night which ones they need to make sure it's not excessive. But this narcotics, I'll have to order myself personally.
So they'll let you know, and then you could check that in the system to verify the amount, and then you place the order.
Yes, and I've been doing this long enough. I'd almost be able to tell them based on what we dispensed that day how many we need to do, and you just get a feel for what you need to order each night. So I might not even need their help on those. I can probably do most of it myself, but I will see if there's anything else that I haven't thought of.
How often does the internet go out there?
So since I put in the fiber line, it's been constant. It hasn't gone down. Well, it did go down once when the phone lines to the entire town went down.
Yeah.
So that was about 6 months ago.
So those fiber lines, is that specific to your pharmacy or for the town of Lovelock?
So the fiber lines go into the town of Lovelock. I paid to have a dedicated fiber line into the pharmacy.
Very good. Okay, I don't have any further questions. Board members?
Adam Forth for the record. I just, if you can elaborate a little bit more on when you receive a C2 order, the technician does not have the ability to change the stock on hand. So how does the order get checked in?
So the pharmacy computer system will automatically update the stock on hands based on the anticipated order in the morning. That's how it's been done for years at my pharmacies. It's done automatically, so no person has to touch that. If there's discrepancies when they're checking in, if there is a bottle over or if there's a bottle short, they'll bring that to my attention, and I can contact our wholesaler and dig into that, and I can manually adjust our stock on hands.
Okay. And then one thing that I didn't hear when you were describing the process is when does your clinical review of the prescription happen in the process?
So initially they'll, according to the remote site guidelines and the law requirements, I'll need to review most of those first before they count it and so there'll be a pre-check option for most of those just to screen everything, see if I need to ask them or need to contact the doctor to get any clarifications. Then they would get that approval, they would count the medication, and then once they're done counting, it's automatically put into an RPH review, so a pharmacist check queue. And I would review those more in depth and review the patient's history in depth, see if I need to flag it for counseling, and then approve that. And it'd be placed in the will call queue.
Okay, thank you. As an aside, I'm just wondering what kind of volume do you do at the Silver Stage Pharmacy?
The Silver Stage is about 150 a day. That's not one of the two that'll be involved in this.
Right. Yeah. I drove by there the other day and didn't know there was a pharmacy there, and so I was surprised to see it.
And I have to give Adam credit. He's the one that called me immediately and reported the dinosaurs. So it wasn't my research that came with the dinosaurs. It was Adam's.
Yeah, the
In
techs have a good
contemplation
time.
of changing your services into a telepharmacy, have you made changes to your SOPs to reflect your expectations?
I have drafted SOPs, yes, to reflect the requirements that will be needed. I haven't put them in place, of course, since it hasn't been approved. And if the board approves it, then I still have to get it cleared through the DEA, and that might take some time as well. So those would go into effect after the DEA gets that approval.
And if you do move forward, which I'm not saying you have to, it'd be pending inspection.
If we do move forward for the board, I would be more comfortable if the board staff got a hold of the revised SOPs for the compliance.
Adam Port for the record, I think this is like a integral thing that we have in law to allow the state. I personally think that the 50-mile restriction is prohibitive to where we could actually do this and serve the public better. So I'm all for this. I would move that we approve the service modification for Lovelock Pharmacy.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Request.
Pending review of the draft standard operating procedures by board staff.
I second.
Okay, so motion by Mr. Porat, second by Mr. Kobo. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, and we wish you all that.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to agenda item 11A for Orion Specialty Labs LLC. So if we have representatives from Orion Specialty, please let us know by raising your hand in Zoom or pressing *9 on your phone.
Madam President, for the record, Mr. Tomaso had to leave. He did not, he attended everything up to the last item number. He's not online right now.
Okay.
For the record.
So it would be Kimberly Moeller or Nala Ahmed.
They were earlier.
They're gone.
Yeah.
No longer on Zoom, Madam President.
Okay, we can certainly circle back. We'll move on then to 12A for Stellan Biotech. If we have representatives from Stellan Biotech, you could raise your hand or let us know through Zoom.
I'm right here.
Okay, great. All right. And if you could please identify yourself.
My name is Sanjeev Krishan. I'm the CEO for Stellan Biotech Inc. in New Jersey.
Okay, great. And will anyone else be joining you today?
No, I'll be the only one representing the company.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and swear you in. If you could join me in raising your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
I do.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, I'll turn it over to Ms. Young. Thank you, Madam President. This is Skylar Young for the board. This is agenda item 12A. It starts on page 7424, an application for an out-of-state wholesaler. The application reflects that Stellan will be based in New Jersey and they will supply dangerous drugs. The president and CEO is Mr. Krishan. He's here today. And I'm just going to ask you a few questions about your application. Can you tell us a little bit about your higher education, sir?
I have an undergraduate in chemistry, a grad school degree in biotechnology, and a business MBA program before I started my career in pharmaceuticals about 27 years back.
Can you explain your current duties at Stellan?
So at Stellan, I'm the president and CEO. I've essentially started the company after having worked in corporate for a long time. And I'm the most responsible person at site. And I'm the leader of the team there.
So this is going to be a virtual prescription manufacturer, if I'm from my understanding. Can you kind of go through what that means?
So essentially, we will be the distributor company for various pharmaceutical drugs. So currently, what we have on our contract is one of the companies which will be manufacturing the product out of India. And our office essentially is a virtual office because we'll be using third-party licensing sites for shipment of the drugs. They are fully licensed all across United States. and they will be holding the product. They will be shipping the product under appropriate licenses all across the country. And that's the model we will continue to follow, and we don't intend to handle any product physically at our site.
So you do not have a physical facility in New Jersey. Everything is virtual.
We have an office, we have staff there, but we do not uh, intend to hold any physical product at that particular site. But of course, we have an office which has been inspected by the state of New Jersey to get a home state license. And then we have used that same facility address for licensing in other parts of the country as well.
So all of the third parties you're working with, they are licensed with us, with the Nevada board?
Yes, the third party licensing company is the 3PL.
Why do you want to enter the the Las Vegas, Nevada market, excuse me?
Yeah, it's an important part of the population which needs to be served, and the state, of course, requires us to be licensed to be able to service that part of the country. So yes, we intend to do that. In my past, we've always been supplying products to the citizens of Nevada, and we intend to do that as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about the drugs that you're providing?
So currently, the one product for which we are seeking approval is called tacrolimus. It's an immunosuppressant product, which is essentially used for after transplant in patients. So we have various surgeries in which post that surgical procedure, those patients who are able to ingest a pill form of immunosuppressant, which helps the new organ adjust to the body, and these kind of drugs are very essential to do that. They are not controlled substances, but they are prescription drugs.
How do you plan on getting clients here in Nevada?
We essentially, the model is that we would work with the wholesalers and pharmacies, and we would supply to them, and they essentially serve the patients themselves. For example, Walgreens were here just now, so we would typically work with the AmerisourceBergen or Walgreens or CVS, and we would be supplying to those stores, and then they would be filling the prescriptions eventually. So we would not work directly with patients.
And you did have a disclosure. So first I wanted to ask what your role was at Glenmark Pharmaceuticals.
So I had a progressive role in Glenmark. I served almost 20 years with the organization. Started when I was 32, then left them when I was 52. And in the last 4 years, I was the president and CEO of the organization in North Americas. And I did, prior to that, almost for 10 plus years, I was working in a division which was a global division based in New Jersey. I was managing that, and then I moved to a commercial role for the US generic space. And in the last 4 years, was president and CEO.
And you had no involvement at all with the multiple antitrust litigation cases?
No, not at all. When those cases started, I was in a totally different division to begin with, which was selling products across other parts of the world, especially the active ingredients. And these started in 2013 or so. By the time I took over as a more responsible person, these are almost to the end of their time period.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Christian. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Board members, any additional questions? I don't have any questions either.
Adam Porth for the record, no, I don't have any questions either. I would move that we approve new wholesaler license for Stellan Biotech Inc.
Crystal Freitas, I second.
Okay, we have a motion by Dr. Porath, a second by Dr. Freitas. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. We thank you for your time, Mr. Christian.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate board taking up the consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Right, we'll go to agenda item 13A for Amir Al-Haj.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, if you could please state your full name for the record.
Amir Al-Haj.
Mr. Al-Haj, I'm going to swear you in if you join me in raising your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to provide will be both truthful and complete?
I do.
Okay, great. I will turn it over to,
Also, there is another pharmacist. He wants to join me. If you guys don't mind.
okay. I think for now, you're, as the applicant, is it just the pharmacist as a reference?
Yeah.
Okay, let's proceed for now, and then if we need to, we can certainly bring that other pharmacist in.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then we'll, yeah. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Long.
Thank you, Madam President. Yen Long for the record. Dr. Al-Haj, my name is Yen. I'm a board staff member and I have a few questions for you regarding your application. So this is item 13A on page 7467 of the board book. Dr. Al-Haj is applying for a pharmacist registration by examination and is seeking permission to retake the NAPLEX exam, and that is why he is appearing today. Some background information that Dr. Al-Haj has provided to us. Dr. Al-Haj earned his Pharm D from Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, May of 2020. That was 6 years ago. Dr. Al-Haj took the NAPLEX on 5 occasions in Michigan, and unfortunately, he did not pass any of those occasions. This is the maximum allowable number of attempts set by NAPLEX, unless a board of pharmacy determines otherwise. During the September 2022 board meeting, Dr. Al-Haj appeared before this board seeking for permission to retake the NAPLEX exam for his 6th attempt. During that board meeting, the board granted Dr. Al-Haj one more attempt at the NAPLEX exam, but unfortunately, Dr. Al-Haj took the exam January of 2023, and he did not pass. Therefore, Dr. Al-Haj is appearing before you today seeking for permission for a 7th attempt at the NAPLEX exam. Dr. Al-Haj, can you explain why you think you did not pass the NAPLEX on your previous 6 attempts?
During that time, I was like really prepared for the exam, and like I did like different stuff of studying, and I was like 100% like I'm ready, you know. When I took the exam, I don't know, during the exam, like it was like the hardest exam I ever seen. I thought like there's like different exam in each state, or it's the same. But during the day, I don't know, it's like I blanked, like it's like there's like questions like I never see before, you know.
Okay. So it's been, 6 years about since you graduated from pharmacy school. And what have you been doing to keep up with your knowledge since that time so that you can, successfully pass the NAPLEX?
Actually, I tried like many ways. I tried to contact my the dean of my school. They could give me like any classes, or give me like any support, or just retake the classes, you know. I tried with them. All they said, like, they were like, how are you gonna pay for them, you know? So they know like financially they're not gonna pay for the classes, take them again, because I already have my degree. I thought they would like give me a discount for the classes, and I'll try like to make some money or borrow money and take like the classes, you know, just to keep going, you know, because I already lost 200,000 for loans. Then I was trying other sources, you know, but I couldn't. So all this time I was like trying to support my my wife and my 3 kids, and just for living, you know. And I'm doing like share rides over with Uber and Lyft, and I was like, you know what, I'll try, you know, to look for something else, you know. I applied for another company to work, you know, because I have to pay the loans, I have, you know, support my family. I applied like many companies, pharmaceutical companies, if they could like, you know, give me any like position to work, you know. I just want to survive, you know, and pay my loans and my debts. I applied, to be honest with you, like no one gave me the chance. So during all this time, I chatted with like few pharmacists. That's why I told you like there's supposed to be like 3 pharmacists today with me. Uh, I found them like when I was doing the Lyft and Uber share rides, and like they told me they will be like my school. They will like spill out the book of the exam for NABLEX, and each one will take part, like for the 3 of them, you know. So I think they were waiting for the Zoom, but I think they went back to work. But I think there is still one waiting, you know, if you guys need to ask him anything. So they did a plan to help me and guide me, like where is like my mistakes, you know, and like what should I do, and they are willing like to do anything like to help me out. And to be honest with you, they really like nice people. Like they were like
Mr. Alhash, this is Helen Park. I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying. Are you referring to your friends that are helping you study, or is this another company
pharmacists.
or 3
One of-
pharmacists?
3 pharmacists.
And then
3
they're just volunteering to help you out to prepare?
Yes, and they will create a plan of how they're gonna help me out. And to be honest with you, 2 of them, they said they will help me even either like pensionally, you know, to pay like for the rents for the house and the study like for the weeks, like or the month we're gonna study for the exam.
And so you said that you've been working with these pharmacists and you've been shadowing pharmacists, is that correct?
Yes,
And
yes,
how,
2 of them.
what was that?
2 of them.
Oh, 4 of them? Okay.
2,
And
2, 2.
Two. Okay, sorry. And how long have you been shadowing these pharmacists and what kind of pharmacies do they work in?
It's an independent pharmacy, and it was like couple of months ago, you know,
A
because
couple of months.
this is like where they motivate me like to go back, ask for a chance, so they they could continue like working with me, you know.
And before a couple of months ago, I know you said you've been applying to all these pharmacy companies. So since you graduated from pharmacy school, have you worked in a pharmacy in any capacity since 2020?
Yes, I did. I did as a pharmacy technicians for King's Medical Pharmacy. I worked like for almost 7 or 8 months, you know.
Okay. And when was that? Which year?
It was last year.
Last year. Okay. And what are you going to do differently to help you pass if you are granted a 7th attempt? I know you're doing some shadowing. You're talking to these pharmacists. Have you changed your study habits or the way you study?
They actually the mentors they create a plan for me. If you want me, I could go through the plan. Um, they will do like 4 phases, like week 1 through 4. They will do like NABLEX style exam through the NABB and go by like some topics, you know, and they're gonna do like weekly mentor check-in, and their goal to get more than 60% of the quizzes, you know, for the first to 4 weeks.
And do you know where you were deficient in? Did you get your, the results and know where you need to focus on?
Right now they told us like if you only pass or fail, you know.
Mm-hmm.
From what I noticed from the pharmacist, like I Charo, they said they were like, I need more like time on the math calculation, because I need to be like speeding during the exam, you know. It's not like just take my time.
Sure.
This is what I noticed, like they told me, you know, on their plan. And the other phase, they said they're gonna do intensive applications, which is case-based pharmaceutical discussion, and they will do time calculation sets, next topic question blocks, and bi-weekly mental case presentations. And their goal to get more than 70 to 75% of the next question blocks.
Okay.
On phase 3, they said they will do exam stimulation and refinements. It's from week 13 to 16. They will do full-length stimulated exam, and they will do post-exam performance. And also, they will target remediation of weak domains. Also, what they find out, they said like about anxiety, and they said they will like train me, because it's affecting me, during the exams.
Okay.
And their goal is to get like more than 80% on two exams stimulations.
Okay,
And
great.
for the last thing, they will use the study resources like NABLEX materials and RX prep, and they could do calculations book to do all these math stuff.
Okay. That's all the questions I have, Dr. Al-Haj. I'll turn it over to the board for any additional questions.
So Dr. Al-Haj, this is Helen Park. You mentioned you have about 3 pharmacist colleagues who are helping you study. Is this a paid arrangement or they're just volunteering to help you?
No, volunteering, just volunteering.
Okay, so that's very nice of them. One of the things, and I don't know if this is like a communication thing that I'm hearing it, but I don't hear the accountability from you. I feel like when you described your relationship, they're putting together a plan, they're doing this for you, they're arranging your studying. But I think what really needs to happen is you need to own your studying of the NAPLEX material. You need to be driving that process and not relying on others, because they may or may not know, right, what should be studied and what needs to be studied. I think for you, all of it needs to be covered maybe in greater detail since 6 years have passed. So I think if the board were to grant you another opportunity, it would be better to hear what you have in mind, what your plan of study is, how much time you're willing to dedicate to do it, and not just rely on others to get you there.
Okay. For my plan, you're right. You're right 100%. But for me, like if I get the chance, I'll do like what the pharmacist is trying to do to help me out. But like personally, I'm not gonna take the exam like after like a month or like 3 or 4 months. No, I'll try to get like different study plans too. I'll try to get, if I could get like a videos or like another drawing stuff, I'll do like my other notes like myself, like for me to study for the exam. Also, I could even if it take me like 7 to 8 months to just like memorize like all the main topics on the stuff, just like for my study, But I'm just saying the pharmacists, they are here for me to help me out. And I'm not just like depending on what they're gonna do. Of course, like I have to do a lot of stuff because I know if I get this chance, I'm not gonna like let it go. I'll do like everything, and like I'll study and try to.
Have you taken the pre-NAPLEX?
every minute.
Have you taken the pre-NAPLEX before or looked into that as a resource?
I took the pre-NAPLEX before, yeah.
Okay, so that will tell you what areas that you need to work on as well. So there's value in doing that. And if it's been a while since you've done that, that might be another option for you to consider. Have you considered working with, I know that there's a couple companies out there that provide NAPLEX prep courses. Have you considered working with any of those companies?
I promise you, I'll get all the sources available for me. I'll get them because I know if I get this chance, it's gonna be my last chance. And I'll try to see every source before I go take the exam.
Well, to your point too, it's like, you're in an incredible amount of financial debt with your education, and 6 years now, a lot has changed in pharmacy, so I think you're gonna have to work even harder to make sure that you're prepared for this exam. And that's gonna be, I feel
I
like
will.
that should be highly motivating to you, yes.
I will, and as I told you, I promise you guys, I'll look to every like source it's available for me to like master the book this time and move forward. And I hope like
And then if you're
can be
granted
loved,
another opportunity, timing wise, when do you plan on, what would you like to do timing wise to take the test? Like, how long do you think you need to study?
maybe I'll take it's gonna be more than 6, 7, 8 months because I want to go there and I know everything. I'm not gonna take it sooner. So I know how, because to be honest with you, like I'm struggling, and this is the only chance for me. So I'm not gonna like just go rush and take the exam. I have to take my time and look at all the sources available for me and study them, get prepared, and it's even if it took me like a year, I'll keep studying until I feel like myself 100% ready, for the exam.
Board members, I don't have any additional questions. I think it's painful for us as pharmacists to hear this application just because it is hard not to have passed after 6 attempts and just the challenges that goes with it. We want you to be successful. I think from what I said earlier, you really do need to own it and take the accountability, and you need to carve out the time, and you need to study. You need to have a plan in place and not just rely on others. Again, it's in your best interest, right?
I will. I promise you I will.
So I don't have an issue granting another exam attempt. I just hope that you take advantage of it and you pass this time.
Thank you so much. I will. I promise you guys, I'll do everything and I'll study every minute I can. And I hope like one day you will hear good news like I passed the exam. And thank you so much for everything you did for me.
Well, that's just my opinion. We still have to vote.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and if you do pass, or when you pass the next time, I'm gonna expect that you pass if you're granted this opportunity. Please do let us know, because we will be very happy for you. But with that, I'll open it up to other board members to see if there's more questions for you, and then we'll go from there.
I'm willing and open to offering another opportunity, but I'm gonna give you some tough love. Like, listening to this testimony was very painful for me. And the fact that you're telling me you've gone through all of these ordeals and you would like to, study and take the exam again. And you're telling me you still need another 6 to 8 months to prepare. I would not have come to this meeting, just saying that, like, I would be embarrassed. I would have already been ready to take the exam if we said, you know what, you can take it today. So I really hope you take this opportunity seriously. You need to buckle down and study. Nothing takes precedent over studying and passing this exam.
okay. Actually, because
Okay. Well, I move that we approve one additional opportunity for.
I just said, you're right. You're right. I have to be.
Sir, we're already in court discussion, to take the exam.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Cobo. Is there a second?
Anna Carr, second.
Second by Anna Carr. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. So Mr. Alhaj, you have one additional opportunity granted by the Board of Pharmacy. We wish you the best. Please study and please pass your exam.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
Okay, thanks. All right. Yeah. So we'll circle back to see if we have any members from Orion Specialty Labs. That's agenda item 11A. Do we have anyone from Orion Specialty Labs?
Our licensing team has emailed them, but it does not look like they have joined this week.
We put them on a future date.
On a future date, any other agenda items I might have missed for today? If not, we'll move to public comment. All right, so as our final order of business, the board will open up the floor for any public comment. If there's anyone in the room or online who wishes to make a public comment, please feel free to come forward now or raise your hand on Zoom. Or let us know through the chat function.
Nobody online, Madam President.
And it doesn't look like anyone's coming forward in the room, so we'll close the period for public comment. That concludes our agenda items. The date and location of our next scheduled board meeting is on March 4th and 5th, back here in Las Vegas. Thank you, everyone. Our meeting is now adjourned.